Hi, my friends. Thank you for cooking with Millie. And today I'm going to prepare a delicious, wonderful Dominican stew. De nuevo aquí estamos mientras. El sancocho prieto, sabor de mi carne, tú tendrás que darme porque estoy hambriento. And today, my friends, I'm going to prepare, and I hope you could cook with me, a delicious Dominican stew. And we're going to go over the ingredients. So here, let's go over the ingredients. And the first I want to go over is the seasoning, because the magic of the Dominican food, or our delicious Spanish Latin American food, is garlic. So I smashed the garlic with salt. And one of our favorite ingredients that we use is the sour orange. And they are a little bit expensive, but it's the difference, the sour taste that gives to the meat and to all the seasoning. Cilantro, of course. I love the cilantro. Onion, peppers. We could use all type of peppers that we have. And these little onions that I like them so much. So we're gonna use these for the seasoning of our stew. We also use scallions and red and white onions. They both give a delicious taste. So this here, that's why I separated, is for our seasoning of the stew. And we prepare that seasoning in this little, it's called calderito, and we use it in our country to make all our seasoning, to cook it and to make that delicious flavor. Oregano, the sour orange, of course, you never miss that. So this is for the seasoning of our meats that we're going to use today. Now, our viandas or víveres that we call, we have yuca root, green plantain, yam roots. And yams, there's two types of yams, so there's a lot, but the ones that we use normally is the purple yam and the white yam. We use corn, carrots, and our very favorite is the pumpkin. To give it that sweet flavor, we use the corn always, and also the green bananas. So green plantains and green bananas. It's not easy, I have to tell you, to peel the green bananas, but the best way to do it is, where's my knife? You go to the edges of the banana to peel them, and they should come out freely, but this one I had started. We cut each edge. We have to scrape it to eliminate the residual. Of the skin. And I cut all my viandas separately and put aside. So as you could see, I have pumpkin, and I left a little bit to show you how to cut it. You could either cut it on yourself, like me. Sometimes you could cut yourself, or use the cutting board. I think the cutting board is better. We could leave this in big pieces, because once it boils, it turns very small. It disintegrates, actually. We have the yuca. And I started also peeling this, but we put the yuca a little bit big, And if we want another piece, this is how we cut the yuca. It's not easy, but the yuca is so good. We love yuca. Now this stew, we're gonna use 4 meats actually. We're gonna use chicken, we're gonna use pork, shoulder pork, we're going to use beef and neck, pork smoked neck bone, because that gives it a smoky flavor, delicious. We continue to peel and cut our viandas. And after this cutting, I'm going to wash them. So I take my garlic. You're gonna need a big, deep pot for this. So I put the garlic. I love that, and the smell is delicious. I pour some of the onions, and the rest I'm going to leave for later for the seasoning. Some hot pepper, and this immediately we could now add our pork. The pork is that takes the longest to cook. So I add it. And it cooks there for a bit. In the meantime, we could boil our viandas that are here. And as I promised, I'm going to wash. And after I drain the viandas, I bring it to a boil. Now, in this boiling pot, I added some of the garlic that I mashed for my seasoning. So we bring all that to boil. So let's let this boil. And here's our pork. Then I have 2 spoons here. It's good to have 2 different spoons, one for one, one for the other. This is some of the meat. This is good with ribs as well and with fowl, gallina. But today we're gonna make it different. It's gonna be shoulder pork in pieces, chicken, beef, ham, and the neck, smoked pork neck. The neck we leave for last. We add our beef pieces. And here are the bones, because for every stew, the bone is what gives the flavor. And we let that cook there. Delicious. Last, we add our chicken, and this chicken also has garlic, some of the garlic that I smashed. So we're gonna smash at least 10 to 15 garlic cloves, depending on their size, so that we could have for the meat, then for the seasoning, and for our vianda. See, each meat is on its side. But it all cooks deliciously. What gives it the taste is these neck bones. Oh my God. These smell so good. So we cover it and let it cook slowly. We have our scallions, and this is called Sancocho. They even have a song in my country for this. El sancocho prieto, sabor de mi carne, tú tendrás que darme porque estoy hambriento. And it's a very popular merengue. Now look how all this cook. All this meat is pretty tender and fresh, so it does not take too long to cook. So the viandas are cooking, are boiling, and we're going to use this water from the viandas. See, and then all the stew will come together with those viandas. I'm going to add my carrots to the vegetables of viandas. Thank you for cooking with Millie, and I hope you like this delicious stew. There's more to come with it. So this took like 25 minutes. All our vianda, look how beautiful, and that beautiful color comes from the pumpkin. Now, these little guys over here, it's called spice, allspice. And is a tradition that my grandmother showed me. Always in every stew or soup to add a couple of these little guys. Don't ask me why, but I followed whatever my grandmother taught me. I followed through. So now we will add all our viandas and vegetables to our meat. Put that aside, and now we mix. As you can see, we can add more water. Enough to cover all our vegetables. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And all this is natural because the way we're going to season this, now I'm going to teach you how to make the best season that we're going to add to our stew. See? It's pretty simple. The hardest part is cutting all the viandas and seasoning all your meats. Now, in this little guy over here, we're going to add our garlic cloves smashed with a little bit of salt, onions, our tiny onions. They're so cute. I love them. Look at them. Small, like me. I'm going to add some celery. Not too much because I'll add celery at the end. And my peppers, whichever peppers you like. You can use bell peppers, these Italian peppers that I love them. And here I'm going to add a little bit more of onion. I love onion. The onion is the delicious flavor. And my secret also, these serrano peppers. And yellow peppers or yellow chilies. I'm going to add my sour orange. This is divine, divine. And the cilantro we're gonna add at the end to our stew. Now there's another secret ingredient that I didn't mention, but I add at this point. And this is a sweet potato. All the salt is good to have some sweet, and all the sweet, a little bit of salt. So in this stew, I'm going to add this sweet potato, is the very red one, and I peel it and leave a little bit of the skin so that I know that that's a sweet potato, and that's the one I like to have in my stew. And this is a very special caldero because it comes from my aunt that's in heaven. Tia Caridad. And she gave me this calderito a long time ago, very long time ago. And I keep it and treasure it forever. And she always made her seasoning there. So a little bit of salt, pepper, salt and pepper to your taste. Remember, everything in there, all the meat have already salt. Everything that's in there, all the meat had its salt, its garlic, and we let that cook. We cover it. And when that seasoning is ready, we will pour it in our stew. Let's see how our seasoning is coming along. Look at this. It's sizzling, delicious. Now, I'm going to add my serrano pepper because it's good to give it a little bit of spice, and then each individual will decide if they want more spice. Therefore, they could add Tabasco. I have the Tabasco here. But once the stew is done, like every stew is soup, each one adds either more salt or more pepper or what? Tabasco. Ta-da! And now I'm going to add, let's see our stew. We shake it. Shake, 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 señora. Ooh, this smells delicious. At this point, you can give it a taste and see if it needs more sour or any other ingredient. So we pour our seasoning in. We put 1/2 stick of celery, just to give it a little bit of taste. And now we add our cilantro that I washed previously. And we stir in. So we could take in all that seasoning that we poured in. Delicious. In the meantime, my last but not least, I'm going to grate a plantain. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to make little arepitas of plantain. The more we squish, the same plantain is going to come together. And I just grated 1 plantain. And look at them, voila! Here's our little balls of plantain, smashed plantain, smashed with our hands. Now we could. And now I have it on high, so this don't. There you go. So as we can see, our stew is boiling and all the ingredients are coming together after we added our seasoning. At this point, we take a taste of it. And I have a spoon here to taste it. Very good. It's spicy and delicious. So we let that in medium heat. And when it gets a little thicker, it's done and ready to serve. And now we have our delicious sancocho, or stew. We start pouring in the serving plate. First, we pour it in a big bowl. Then from the bowl in the dish that we're going to eat. We don't eat sancocho without avocado. Cuba calls this ayaco, and theirs is a little bit more in depth thicker. They add more plantains, more green green bananas, more yuca, more malanga, more roots, yams. So let me see how this tastes. Unbelievable with the avocado. Thank you for cooking with Millie. If you like this recipe, please subscribe, like it, and share it with your friends. Sancocho, dale tu amor.